So he's hiding out. He's off in the mountain where he would go and reflect. And he's up on this mountain one day, and all of a sudden, this bush that has always been there, the common things that are always there in our lives, the things that look like everyday things, the things that aren't special, the people that show up all the time anyway. Nothing special about them. All of a sudden, the bush is on fire. Now, Moses, rubs his eyes and says, wow, this bush is, and it's not burning up. That's amazing. But now there's more, because then the bush begins to speak to him. I don't know how you feel about that, but when I was really lost, and I was caught up in a lot of substance abuse and street living, my grandmother, who always believed in me, she always believed in me, she always saw the light in me, she always could see something great in me, and I couldn't see it. And she would say, boy, one of these days, you're going to hear the still small voice. I go, Mama, I have enough problems. I don't need to be hearing voices. So I imagine that that's where Moses is at. Now, the bush is talking to him. People often wonder why we don't see the bush burning today. And I say to you that the bush is always burning. It's always burning. Moses was having a good day. And when we have a good day, when we wake up, when we have that moment, when something happens, when we are being meditated, when we are being prayed for, when the music is just right, and somehow we are allowed to transcend ourselves in the way that we operate on a regular basis, and we open ourselves for just a moment to that something that is always in the midst of us, the bush appears to be on fire. Suddenly we can really see. I once was lost and now I'm found. I once was blind, but now I see. We don't make it be there because we are able to see it. It's already there. We have a moment of clarity and surrender ourselves to it and allow ourselves to believe. We allow ourselves to believe that it's true. So he leads his people after much encouragement from the Lord of his own being. He begins to liberate his thoughts from thoughts of bondage, from thoughts of not enough. All of us have those thoughts. I don't know about you, but they vex me in the middle of the night. They tell me that you're not good enough. You're not tall enough. You're not white enough. You're too tall. You're too short. You're too skinny. Your feet are too big. Always not enough. And so Moses begins to have the internal dialogue. And he begins to say to the Pharaoh of his being, let my people go. Liberate them, set them free. That's what our prayers are about. We are ever looking to be set free. We want to loosen the yoke. We don't want to be tethered and tied to that which we say is holding us down. And yet no one else has the key.
Reverend Ken Williamson shares, no one else has the key. That is because the key to all greatness is in our very own hands. In lesson 4 of our book study, Start Where You Are, written by Chris Gardner, he says, start with what you've got in your hand. Ancient insight, ancient wisdom has recorded how God metaphorically appears as a burning bush, inspiring Moses to go to Egypt and free his people who are in bondage and slavery. But let's understand, before Moses could take one step in the outer, he had to free his mind. He had to free his belief system, his attitude about himself. You see, God shows up inspiring Moses. And Moses insists, listen, God, I am the wrong man for this job. You think this is an out of ordinary, old, ancient story? Tell us the truth today. Has Spirit ever inspired you with a dream? Yet your inner voice is, no, I'm not big enough, I'm not strong enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not rich enough, I'm not good enough. You fill in the blank. Have you ever gotten an idea that completely frees your mind the second you get it? And then 1 second later, reality sets in and pulls you down from that dream. You know, I have a few times in my life. I have a few times gotten those glimpses of greatness. Frank, leave behind everything and go to Unity Village for 2 years when you're 40 years old. What? You think you get there? Okay, God, I'll go to Unity Village. Leave behind the law practice, state of Florida, job, great insurance, benefits. All right, God, all right. I'll leave it behind. Get to Unity Village. Frank, these 2 years, you'll be working inside UPS trailers while you study. No, you're not going to work in the prayer ministry because I'm putting you in the trailers in Lenexa, Kansas. Okay, God. All right. 2 months before graduation, ordination. For 2 years, I've been talking about how great it's going to be to go home to my church. Frank, you won't be going back to Unity on the Bay because I'm sending you to Unity of Hollywood. And you are going to join a group of really committed people who want to free their church from its history. You see, Frank, this is what I'm telling you to do. That's not my picture, God. No. You got the wires crossed. Someone else in my class is supposed to go to Hollywood. I'm going back to Miami. Frank. See, we all know that feeling. What? God, you want me to do what? What?